All right, Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh,
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Kodash.
double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, and much love and salutation to Yakim out there pushing this word and truth sincerity. And as you see, the title of the video, Esau, your time is up because as you see, man, around the four corners of the earth, everyone's becoming privy, all right, to Esau's semantics, all right, and his deception and all the BS that he's been spewing out for these last, decades. Everybody's, starting to put two and two together. And if a brother want to grab Jeremiah 49,
I'm here already.
can go ahead.
What do you want?
You can start at 7. Yeah, start at 7.
This is Jeremiah chapter 49, verse 7. Concerning Edom, thus saith the Lord of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished?
And that's what the Most High is. That's a question that the Most High put towards Esau, man. Because here it is that they had the wise men of Teman. All right, they had all these counsels, all their wisdom of this world, to get them to where they are now. And now that the Lord is starting to bring these prophecies to pass, all of that's going out the window for Esau, even because they're wise men. Okay, their counsel can't tell them how to get away from these prophecies, because ultimately they're trying to upset prophecy by continuing the New World Order even after the Lord returns. But now their wisdom is being brought to naught, all right? Because usually when they go seek counsel, all right, they seek counsel. They leave that 13th spot open for Satan, the spiritual, the actual spiritual Satan, But now that he's starting to draw away from these devils, their wisdom is beginning to fail them. That's why they're having controversy with them among themselves. That's why their kingdom is divided, because Satan ain't there to hold their hand no more as he was, 20 years ago when he was giving them these ideas, which ultimately Yahweh, the Heavenly Father, was sending Satan to feed them with these ideas or the devices. Now Satan ain't there for them no more, so now they're having to rely upon themselves and their own counsels, so to say. But keep going, brother.
Verse 8, flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of the Dan, for I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him, the time that I will visit him.
Yeah, and now we're beginning to see the time that the Lord is about to visit these devils, because for so long he allowed them to go out and deceive the earth, right? Deceive the nations, destroy the earth. Okay, the man of sin, the son of perdition. This man has been allowed through the will of the Heavenly Father to go out and do all these things. But now is the time where the Lord's starting to visit him and bringing him to his enterprises to not, his devices, because now is the time for the Lord to visit him and set up his son Yahushai along with the rest of the elect to rule this world in righteousness. Keep going to point. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, since you had quoted 2 Thessalonians 2, I'm holding that. So if you wanted a little bit later, and we can grab it.
Yeah,
we can grab it now.
Yeah, hold it. But go ahead, Mayam.
Verse 9: If great gatherers come to thee, would they not leave some gleaning grapes?
Mm-hmm.
If thieves by night, they will destroy it till they have enough.
Yeah, and that's Esau Edom, man. Esau Edom didn't leave no grapes. All right. He took until there was nothing to take, and then he still kept coming back. At least a thief would leave something behind. He ain't gonna leave you your house nothing but walls. He gonna leave something. Maybe a recliner, or maybe the TV, or maybe some canned goods. No, Esau, he will take everything, man. And that the Lord, you see how the Lord threw that in there. How he was talking about the time visiting Esau, and he posed these questions afterward. This is why the Lord's about to visit this devil, man, because he's done nothing but steal all the resources of the earth, heap them unto himself, heap the people unto himself. All right, and to deceive all the nations, and then to take the captivity of Israel, all right, so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans to a whole nother level. But here's the point that I really want to go ahead, Victor.
Verse 10 says, "But I have made Esau bare, I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not."
Okay, so that's the point, man. That the Most High, Yahweh Shemel Shai, has made Esau bare. All right, he's uncovered his secret places. There's no such thing as the secret societies and the hidden masters anymore. All that shit is out in the forefront. Even everyday people know about it. So the Lord has uncovered him, made him bare, brought out all his iniquities, his history. Now it's all out there. All right, and he can't hide himself anymore. Our brother want to grab that in Obadiah. I heard things Esau searched out or something like that. So, like that's why I text brothers earlier and said Esau's about to make some bold moves out here, man. He don't care anymore. He already knows there's people watching him that understand about the New World Order and the market. Esau knows this, so now he's just gonna do it in your face and then do something about it. At this point, he doesn't care. He'll put up all kind of shit on the news and then get his agenda across, and then all of a sudden, everything's back to normal, or everything, the scenario that he was proposing wasn't even everything that he was saying. But his whole the real agenda was behind the closed scenes, behind the curtains. Now they're trying to not downplay it, but just earlier here, not 2 hours ago, they're talking about, now the curve, we're starting to get to the end of the curve. Now there's no more, it's not continuing to rise anymore. The COVID deaths, man, Esau is a devil, man. People died for sure, but now that he's getting done with his 5G setup, he's already, because this is really what that was all about. All right, and guess what? Again, he doesn't even care if people know, because he's going to do it, and then he says in his mind, who's going to stop me? So he'll tell you to stay home, lock down the whole earth. All right, and then set up the devices, so to say, or the actual electronic devices, the lines. He's been setting all this shit up, and then he just did this, to hurry up and finish it, really, because I was driving around, real quick testimony. I was driving around, and I started thinking about all these constructions that have been going on for the last 6 months, of all these towers and these new lines, and then to the neighborhoods that you got all these the workers, Spectrum, Verizon, they all digging under the ground and shit. It didn't click back then when I was seeing it, back late 2019. But now I'm after the revelations come through brothers, exposing all that, I'm starting to realize what this whole construction was about. Somebody wanted to say something? I think.
No, go ahead.
Okay, content. Now I tell you, wanted to add to the testimony, but this is what they've been doing, because one of the elders, I think it was Elder Ayatan, I could be mistaken, Slakia, but he just put up a video, and where he interviewed the guy, the construction. Elder Ayatan, he pretty much recorded it, and the guy told him that they were putting the 5G, and setting up the 5Gs in neighborhoods, and what they do is put those lines. They're changing all the lines too, so that the 5G can get into your house, or on the whole, pretty much just trying to make the Internet of Things, because 5G is wireless, of course, but then they're replacing all the lines going to your house, so that everything in your house is going to be communicating with that technology. And I know you, Dawud, you've been on that game. You've been telling us about that
years ago.
Nanobots. I remember you said all
nanotechnology, the smart dust. Yeah, it's all coming together now. Yep.
Tom, but yeah, get the, it's lucky if you got the Obadiah real quick, because now it's gonna explain how Esau's be made bare. Go ahead, Robert Shaw.
What you want, a Wiseman?
I got it right
Yeah.
here. Nobody else got it.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you got it.
Okay.
All right. This is Obadiah chapter 1, verse 6. It says, "How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hid things sought up?"
That's right. How the how is right here. You witnessing it. All right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shim outside. Man, the Holy Spirit has entered unto the disciples, all right, the apostles, the elders, okay, to expose this devil, all right. And then the Most High uses himself to expose himself, which the video my yum sent out earlier about it was what was it, Zurich's
Zypher.
Yeah.
Zypher.
Yep.
So all those Alex Jones and Al Green and this, all them dudes, they're all set up, man.
Al Green.
Yeah, the dude broke it down in the video, man. He broke it down perfectly. You know, those guys are even vocab. You know, that's what they call it, the paid opposition or something like that.
Shill.
Controlled opposition.
Yeah, controlled. Yep, controlled opposition. There you go. Yep. So that's all they are. Okay, but the real exposure has been coming through the prophets of the Lord, the servants. All right, because as pursuing the Amos 3 and 7, the Lord ain't finna come down here and expose Esau himself. He's gonna give us the information. He's gonna give us the orders exactly. You know, he's gonna give us the Holy Spirit, so that brother's gonna go into certain things and link you with the scriptures and see. Okay, see that's what it is, and then bam, you know, because everybody now all of a sudden is all deep. You know, they know what's going on. They're trying to tell us about World War III now. They're trying to tell us about the martial law. They're trying to tell us about the mark of the beast. You know, all of a sudden, because why they've heard it from somewhere else. They've heard it from the somewhere on the internet or on the TV, which is nothing but witchcraft. So now they're trying to tell us, because you remember what was it called again? I can't remember the words.
Control opposition.
No, the Z,
A Zypher.
Zypher. Yeah, there's controlled opposition. So you know, under Project Zypher, there was controlled opposition. So of course they're gonna give you the truth. Now they're gonna start these different channels just to see who's following them, like the video was saying. Now, if you're watching these certain videos, then you're getting I forgot what he said, identified, tagged, and
Tracked.
Tracked. Kind of identified, tagged, and tracked.
It was TTID, yeah, the tag,
TTID.
track, and ID, yeah.
Yep. So that's all they're doing now, because now people are gonna. Because bro, how are people coming to us telling us what we've been telling them? You know what I'm saying? Because what they're hearing it from another source, so now they can believe it. So they'll come and tell us about it, or try to. You know, hey, you know, this is a beautiful thing, man. Whether these people tell us the same thing we've been telling them, they at the end of the day, they're gonna know who told them first when they see that shit coming upon them, you know. But you brothers bring out precepts. A couple brothers got some.
Hey,
Go ahead,
I was gonna say, if Mayam wanted to finish that Obadiah, read that Obadiah, the verse he read, and I think also verse 8, and I want to follow it with that 2 Thessalonians 2, because you quoted it twice about how Esau is gonna be the hidden thing sought up. So you still got that, Mayam?
John, yeah, I got it. You want me to start at verse 6 again?
Yeah, 6, and I think verse 8 as well.
All right. You want me to read verse 7 or just skip over it?
Well, you just read through the 8.
All right, okay. Obadiah, verse 6. How are things of Esau searched out? How are his hid things sought up? All the men of that confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him.
Hey, real quick, because we equate that to a lot of these other nations and stuff like that with like Turkey and so on and so forth. But hey, scriptures also talk about their tongues falling upon them. Some of these people who was so-called tapped in or whatever, taking payouts, like the brother was going into from that little piece of information, man. These are the people that was so-called on the inside, man. But then now they so-called, their own tongue is coming out against them. They got so-called whistleblowers and stuff like that, man. All right, keep going.
It says, verse 8, shall I not in that day, saith the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the mountain of Esau?
Con. So, hey, just like the brothers was going into, man, their wisdom is failing, all right? So I want to read this in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, because the brother had touched it on a couple of these here verses, So I'm going to start at verse 3. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3, it says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first. All right? Now, if any of your brothers want to break this down, you can, if you want, or, I can. But, all right, so the falling away, is, going pursuing what Psalms 83, let us cut Israel off from being a nation, the name of Israel out of their remembrance, and that's, we living in the time of Ezekiel 37, the valley of the dry bones being brought back together, all right, just, bringing that prophecy all the way through. It says, in that man of sin be revealed the son of perdition, which the brothers are going into. This is how Esau's being exposed right now, man. All right, who opposeth and exalted himself above all that is called God or is worship, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. And look at a lot of his technologies and powers that he's got now, man. AI technology, robots creating, the CRISPR machine with the designer babies and designer DNA and all kind of stuff that Esau got, man. You know what I'm saying? He's basically trying to play God now, man. All right, manipulating the weather, so on and so forth. Verse 5, it says, remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things, and now you know what withholdeth that he might be revealed at his time. And this is the time when Esau is being revealed, all right? For the mystery of iniquity doth already work, only he who now let it will let until he be taken out of the way. And here's the point here, verse 8, it says, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Going back to that Amos 3, about the Lord revealing his secrets into the service of the prophets, man. And he set us out on the highways and the byways to give out this message, first and foremost, to the children of Israel, to the elect, all right? But then also to cast, expose these other nations, like who Esau is, okay? Let me just read a couple more verses. It says, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all the deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And that's ultimately going into 2/3 of our people, man. They're going to not want to listen to this, all right, not get the truth, and then they're going to want to walk right into Esau's trap, man. They're going to walk right into a FEMA camp thinking that that's going to help them out, and they're going to want to ultimately take in that chip, all right, because they didn't want to believe them in the Lord, like the brother was going into. Now they want to come around and start teaching us. Those are some people that's so-called waking up, but you still have some people that's in this delusion that, America going to bounce back. We still living our best life. It's all good, It says, verse 11, and for this cause, the Most High shall send them a strong delusion that they might believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but have pleasure in unrighteousness. And, basically what I was just going into, they rather love a lie than the truth, You brothers got it.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Maya Kala. You got it, brother.
Just a quick one. It's Matthew 24:14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then the end shall come. Yeah, and then shall the end come. So that's what's happening. The word has gone out throughout the four corners of the earth. So that's what it is. That's sealed. If that not come to pass, will make the Lord a liar. So and reading that, this gospel has been preached, is reached. Every inch of this place on this earth. So that means the end is coming. That's that time now. We're going into the end of this man's rulership.
God. Hey, I got something real quick to back you up. This is Luke chapter 8, verse 17. For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad. So going back to Jeremiah 49, making Esau bear. All right, these are the words of Yahweh Shai. Okay, there's nothing made secret, man. All right, so it's already proven who the devil is, man. All right, so you throwing out these wacky tactics, man. It's nothing new for us. Okay, because we already know through the scriptures that it was going to be made known abroad. Okay, because what prophecy will foretell who the devil is, man, that the Bible speaks of, man. That's it.
Okay. Book of Job, chapter 18, verse 5. Job 18, verse 5, and a couple of other scriptures on down. Yea, the light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine. And the light of the wicked, all right, going into Esau, all right, his light shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine. So eventually the Lord's going to take this man out of power, right? Right before our eyes, right when he's in the midst of bringing forth his new world order. We're going to see Esau get taken out by Yahweh Shem Yahushua. The light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine. The light shall be dark in his tabernacle, and his candle shall be put out with him. All right. So the Lord said, you're going to put his candle out along with Esau, basically. So we're going to take out all his knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of this world, and you're going to put that shit out along with his punk red ass. All right. You can put his ass to death. First putting him into slavery for 1,000 years, and then eventually putting him out of misery. Verse 7, the steps of his strength shall be straightened, and his own counsel shall cast him down. For he is cast into a net by his own feet, and he walketh upon a snare. And we see in all his philosophies, Esau's philosophies, all his his political nonsense that he had going on. That's ultimately is bringing him in what's the word I'm looking for? Exposing him. Okay, everything's put out on the internet. We see this man for who he is, the devil that he is. Okay, it's quite clear.
It kind of like it. The scripture say, in his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. I believe that's how it goes.
Kind
the fullness of his sufficiency.
Yeah, kind of. So that's what you see now, man. You see that he's almost at the fullness of his sufficiency, but he's all in shambles, man. He's starting to shake and shit. He getting closer. He's all hurt, man. That's why they're Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that's why you brothers are, you always put up the videos on the chat. Esau bugging out, and you click the video, and Esau's literally just losing his mind. He's sore loser. Jake ain't doing shit, but Esau is on the man's fate. Esau don't know how to act no more. He's losing his power, and we see it right before our eyes. We can see it. Jake don't really understand what he's seeing and what he's experiencing, but brothers are watching this and like, yo, this is actually happening. This man he don't know how to act no more. Which we'll go into this scripture in the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 12, where it says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down on you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. So this man, he's starting to show his horns. All right, and we're starting to right now, but it hasn't really gotten to the point where, it's really actually it pretty much is there, but he hasn't really, it's not like the grand finale yet where he's just the devil. We're gonna see that real soon, but we're seeing little glimpses of him showing his horns and like not giving a fuck no more. Like we're gonna do it the way I said we're gonna do it. I don't care what the Constitution says. I don't care, and we're starting to see little glimpses of that right now with the lockdowns and this, that, and the third. So. Wait till he really, really has nothing left to lose. He's gonna come down on Jake with great wrath because he knows that his time is short.
Hey, kind of like the apostles be saying, when the people have nothing to lose, they lose it. So
yeah, and that goes for anybody, but when the power of the earth.
Americans, they still have the luxury to go to McDonald's, even amongst this lockdown. This stay-at-home order, niggas still going to McDonald's. Niggas getting deliveries to their homes. Papa John's Pizza.
Right.
They still got the luxury of a lot of things.
Yeah. We're not Somalia yet. We're not Venezuela yet. So when America turns into those things, then you're gonna see Esau like, all right, yeah, you're gonna be rubbing his hands like Birdman, like
excellent, like Mr. Burns.
Mr. Burns. When he gets like that on you, then you got something to really, really worry about. But you still got liberty right now. Like the brother's saying, you can still go to Steak and Shake and all that shit. Rent a movie online or whatever the case is. You can still buy a car. But wait a little bit, a couple more months or towards the end of the year. It's not going to be the same America that you grew up in. It's going to be a whole different place. Back in the book of Job, let's see, verse 8, chapter 18, verse 8. For he is cast into a net by his own feet, and he walketh upon a snare. The jinn shall take him by his heel, and the robber shall prevail against him. Talking about Esau. Go ahead.
Yeah, because that's what Esau's gonna fall into his own snare. He's gonna fall into his own pit. He that diggeth the pit, he gonna fall into it. So and what is the ultimate pit that he set up is those nukes. And guess what? The Lord's gonna make him fall upon his own pit, man. That's how you're gonna stop. That's how you're going out.
He's the smith that blows the coals in the fire, and that weapon that he smithed, all right, he's gonna use it upon his own damn self. And that's not really wise, but that's how it's written, Verse 10, Job 18:10. The snare is laid for him in the ground, and the trap for him in the way. Terror shall make him afraid on every side, and shall drive him to his feet. And that's in 8. This is prophecy that we're going to see happen. We're seeing glimpses of it right now, but when it really gets bad out here, you're going to see what the scripture really means. And read it on just a little bit more. Verse 12. His strength shall be hunger bitten, and destruction shall be ready at his side. It shall devour the strength of his skin, even the firstborn of death shall devour his strength. I want to read this part right here, verse 14. His confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle, and it shall bring him the king of terrors. So ultimately, at the end of the day, you're going to see, like we read in the book of Revelation 12:12, he's going to show his horns. He's gonna really, show that he's the devil, and he's going to be doing that not just because out of confidence. He's going to really be doing it out of fear. And it says his confidence shall be rooted in his tabernacle. All right, this place that he's built up, all these years, hundreds of years, building this place up to make it look the way it looks. All right, but ultimately he's going to be brought down by the king of terrors, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and it shall bring him to the king of terrors. So the king of terrors, which is Yahweh Shai, all right, is going to take this man out. And, brothers are going to have a front row seat to that destruction. You got it, brothers.
Hey, real quick, I was gonna say off of what you were just saying about going into that Revelation 12:12, and then knowing he has but a short time, and moving out of fear. This is Job 14:5. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. So he and then also, hey man, that's another one of those snares that got him caught up was what? The internet, man, and the YouTube, and it, going into the video, and, oh shit, we seeing the incoming. There's too many people getting this here truth. We should have never created the internet. We need to shut it down. Now that the prophets got to link up, the information went out. You know what I'm saying? There's the flesh was brought back to the bones. Israel woke back up. And then ultimately, like the brother was going into with that the nukes and everything like that, man. All this technology and everything he's got right now is all turning upon him, man. His own wickedness, his own counsel is turning on him, and ultimately going to bring him to the king of terrors.
Hey,
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
To add on, just to prove that the apostles, they have a testimony of them guys coming out of the limos and saying, how we spent so much money on this. How'd you guys find it? And this was maybe 2000, early 2000s. So why would they say that? If they knew that the internet was going to explode like that, they didn't know that. When they hopped out of that limo and they said that to the apostles, saying, how do I figure out this truth? We spent so much money trying to hide it. I guarantee you they did not expect, man, the explosion of awakening, so to say, that came from the internet,
Yeah, even now, even more so now, because back then that was probably over 10 years ago when that happened.
Yeah,
now look at it. Now look at how this thing has exploded.
Yeah, it was way. It was no, it was before they started. Before they started going on YouTube, that's when that happened.
Right.
So
So
before they
yeah,
were
so
on
well over 10 years,
YouTube,
obviously.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's when it happened. So that's what I'm saying. Like, really think that Esau really didn't think that because remember everything all the technology they give us, the military's been using for years. You know, just like 5G, all that shit the military's been using. You know, they've
iPad and all
been
that shit. Yeah.
for tracking people and all kind of shit. But anyway, you know, so when they said that all them years ago, you know, I'm sure they were up onto the internet, but they didn't know, you know, Esau, the Most High didn't put it in his mind to actually conceive that, because if not, he wouldn't have made the internet. You know, he wouldn't have made it to the point where it's at now. Yeah, that I could talk to somebody all the way on the other side of the world with no, in real time. You know,
I would have never believed that shit. You know. But
go
there
ahead.
it is. That's where we at. Go ahead, brother.
Now you had a preset, or who? Go
No.
ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I got you. This is Nahum chapter 3. Shit, I mean, we can really read a bunch of this, but
Oh yeah.
I'll start at verse 4. Nahum 3 and 4. It says, because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts, that selleth nations through her whoredoms, and families through her witchcrafts. Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdom thy shame. And that's happening.
Hey.
Go ahead.
Hey, real quick. Hey, one of those things like we was going into in the book of Job, the brother Ariel was going into, and then the internet. He created the internet for mainly, you know, for us, mainly for folly, you know, entertainment, twerk videos, and all kind of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But then, you know how many cat videos are on YouTube? How many knockout videos are on YouTube? But then all of a sudden, where did all the concentration go to? All right, you know, and that television thing is really hypnotizing people, man. All right, got people look at our nation, man. Look at what our people are doing, following up the hip hop, everything they see on TV, right? But then lo and behold, the truth came out, you know, on the YouTube, man. You know, where you can find all kind of follow. You can find anything on YouTube pretty much that you want to distract yourself. But guess what was causing so much traction, man? This truth, you know? Who would have ever thought that going on YouTube with all the follow you can get into, the entertainment you could be watching, you know, I'm going to sit here and watch the Bible or something like that, you know? And you know, Google wanted to buy YouTube a while back. You know what I'm saying? It's the number 2 search engine in the world, followed behind Google. You know, so they sponsor it. You know what I'm saying? And now they lost control of it, man. All right, but go ahead.
Okay, verse 6. It says, and I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and make thee vile, and will set thee as a gazing stock. All right, and that's what the Heavenly Father's doing, man. He's exposing all of Esau's BS, and he's making his abominable. He's putting Esau's abominable filth upon himself. You know, so it's becoming very clear that the wicked is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, as well as what's becoming clear is his agenda and what he's trying to do. You know, it's being shown, and this is why you're going to have sedition amongst men, because people are going to realize this and realize that the government is corrupt, so to say. You know, that they're not really for the people; they're for the whatever they, you know, for this new so-called new world order. And people are going to revolt, man. All right, as well as because of this, you know, this truth being exposed. Okay, and it says, verse 7, and it shall come to pass that all they that look upon thee shall flee from thee, and say, Nineveh is laid waste, and America is the modern day Nineveh, man. All right, and yes, there it is, modern day Babylon, it's the modern day Egypt, Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay, there's a lot of things put into one, man. This is the biggest melting pot of nations and their philosophies in the whole entire history of Earth, man.
Hey,
right?
so real quick, the spiritual. I just thought about that when you were saying that that this is spiritual Nineveh. What happened when Jonah was sent to Nineveh? He prophesied against the downfall, and it didn't happen, right?
Right.
And then, but it ultimately got destroyed, right?
Yep.
So this is spiritually Nineveh too, because remember they want to talk that 2,000 year shit. You know, the Y2K. It didn't get destroyed, but guess what? Eventually, it's going to get destroyed.
That's beautiful.
Nineveh. It happened in Nineveh. Go ahead, dude.
It says, and say, Nineveh is laid waste. Who will bemoan her? When shall I see comforters for thee? You know, because there's a scripture, if we would have healed Babylon. If my brother wants to get that real quick.
I got you.
Go ahead. Whoever gets it first. But
Ding.
this place is not going to have no comforter, man. Because of the pride of this place, man. Because what they thought that they could never get touched, that they were going to actually bring about this new world order when the Heavenly Father comes back, they're going to have to pay for this, man. You know, this is what they're not expecting, is that the Lord is actually going to come back, man. Okay? But anybody who got that?
Con.
You got it?
Right out.
Con. This is Jeremiah 51, start at verse 8. 51:89. It says, Jeremiah 51:8 says, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her. Take balm for her pain, if so she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go, every one into his own country, for our judgments reaches unto heaven and is lifted up into the skies.
All right, there you go, man. You know, this place is not going to get healed. Okay, so you got these people that, oh, things are going to get back to normal. They might say, you know, things are getting back to normal, but it's not going to be the same, man. You know, people are going to be on a high alert. They're going to have a fear. You know, and that's if things so-called get back to normal, which they're not going to get back to normal, man. They're not. You people are, your way of life has changed completely. You know?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Hey, real quick. Just like that movie, what's the Kingsman? Kingsman? Was it Kingsman with Samuel L. Jackson?
Yeah.
You know how they remember how they turned up the shit and niggas just started bugging out.
Yeah.
That's what's about to happen, man. People,
Yeah.
they about to turn this 5G shit up, and people gonna start bugging out, bro.
Yeah. Fighting in the church
They
and
showed you
shit.
in the movie, bro. Yeah, they showed you in the movies. Hey, cause right, Trump trying to now just a quick speculation. Trump trying to get shit open by Easter, right? That's when people trying to be at church. Let them open that shit. They turn the 5G on. Nah, but
Oh man.
go ahead, brother. Dauda, is there more on that, Mayum?
No, that was it. That's all I wanted.
Okay, got it.
I got a precept. If let me just get to a point, because kind of backing up what Mayum was reading. This is in Isaiah 14. I mean, we could read a couple of this, but I mean, I'm gonna just get to a point where it says Isaiah 14 and verse 16 and 17. It says Isaiah 14:16. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, and that did shake the kingdoms, and that made the world a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, and that opened not the house of his prisoners? You know, so going back to what we were speaking on earlier about Esau being made bare, all right, and being exposed, man. All right, so now all of a sudden, you know, Esau's going to ultimately start bugging out because, you know, the cat's out the bag now, man. All right, it's like the movie The Wizard of Oz, man. Toto done pulled the curtain back from the wizard, and now he about to start freaking out, and he about to pull out all the stops, man. Going back to what Ariel was reading, he know he got but a short time, man. All right, so hey, he's about to try to ultimately push his system, man. All right, but this is the end for him. All right.
Yeah, that shit said that, you know, they everybody's gonna look at him, now we look upon him and be like, it's just the man, because he's gonna be completely exposed, you know, for who he really is. You know, the one, like you look at the movie The Wizard of Oz, and you see this big terrible, you know, image. Everybody's scared of it, the wizard. But when they go behind the curtains, this little faggot ass dude behind the curtains, you know, ain't nobody. This dude here, that's what they're gonna be looking like Esau. Hey, this was the guy we was scared of all these years, you know. And it's gonna be beautiful when this man is finally taken out of power, because this is clearly the problem of the earth. Esau is the problem of existence. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, he's a cancer. He's got to be. You can't leave no cancer behind. You know, when they do cancer treatments, you got to kill all the cancer, because if you leave a little bit of cancer, it'll grow. So Esau's the cancer of the earth, man.
Mm-hmm. And when you do with cancer, you got to chemo that shit, man.
Yep.
You know,
that's be them nukes. Chemo radiation.
Hey, speaking of that cancer, real quick, while I'm in Isaiah 14, let me read verse 21.
Yeah.
It says, "Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise or possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities."
God, that's
So you
going
got
towards Esau now. That used to, be
Yep.
towards Jake, but now it's going towards the Edomites. Because, hey, read it one more time, bro.
Isaiah 14 and 21. It says, "Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities."
Right.
Oh, wait. Let me keep reading. Let me read one more verse.
Well, hold on, let me break that. Before you
Okay,
read
go
on,
on.
before you read on, I know there's more. But right, that right there is, this man prepares slaughter for him, for the iniquity of his father. So, you look at your average Edomite here on a down a block, next door neighbor or whatever the case may be, your co-worker, he ain't do nothing to you. But guess what? He has to pay for the iniquities of his fathers. All right. And his fathers have done all types of atrocities going back, hundreds and hundreds, thousands of years. Every Edomite is gonna have to pay for that. So they do not rise. Like the brother said, what do you do with a cancer? You gotta kill all of it. Otherwise, it's gonna continue to grow and grow. So he do not rise nor possess the world. I forgot how it goes. Possess the world or fill the face of the world with cities. You got to get rid of it all, because if it starts growing again, you're gonna see another America. You'll be in the kingdom of heaven, and then you let some Edomites live. After 1,000 years, it's gonna be another America gonna pop up. You can't have
Hey,
that.
that's why in Malachi 4 it says neither root nor branch.
We need the root nor branch. Go ahead,
Hey, I got actually another precept after this. Let me read verse 21. It says Isaiah 14 and 20 or 22. It says, let me read 21 and 22. "Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. For I will rise up against them, saith Yahweh of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name, the remnant, the son, and the nephew, saith Yahweh."
Read 23 as well.
Verse 23, "And I will also make it a possession for the bittern, for the pool of water, and I will sweep it with the besom of destruction, saith Yahweh of hosts."
Yeah, he's gonna completely obliterate Edomites. All right, and the ones that he saves left over, they're going directly into slavery. Most I ain't playing with Esau. You see what this man's done to the planet Earth? No, he's got to go. He said he's going to sweep them away, sweep them with the besom of destruction, which is going into that the nuclear destruction. So we're going to see nuclear warfare on the earth, and it's gonna completely wipe away Esau's different Edomite kingdoms on the earth, starting with America. Go ahead.
This is Obadiah 1 and 18. "And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh have spoken it."
Neither root or branch. You just got to go. He's got to go. There's going to be nothing remaining of this, because the world can't take this much wickedness, man. All right. So we've lived through it. All right. All nations have lived through Esau's wickedness, but it's chiefly the Israelites. Okay, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans. All right, and you other Israelites that may look like different nations, but stem from one of the blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans. You may look like somebody else, but you're still an Israelite through the spirit. All right, we've all dealt with this man's wickedness for too long. The Lord said no more. You go into the book of 2 verses 15. He says, "I'm gonna no more as touching their wickedness." He ain't gonna hold this. He ain't gonna hold his wrath back no more. He's gonna completely obliterate Esau and all wickedness upon the earth. And like the brother quoted in Malachi, he's gonna leave neither root nor branch. You can't leave nothing left of this dude. The whole thing got to go. Throw the whole nation out. Throw the whole Edomite out. You got to go. The whole thing got to go. Let me get a quick one. Second Esdras. Let me find it. Second Esdras chapter 11, starting at 44, the end. Second Esdras chapter 11, verse 44. "The highest also hath looked upon the proud times, and behold, they are ended, and his abominations are fulfilled. So everything that Esau was supposed to do, he did it. All right, he completed all his abominations, and now it's time for the Lord to bring utter destruction upon him. Verse 45. And therefore appear no more, thou eagle, nor thy horrible wings, nor thy wicked feathers, nor thy malicious heads, nor thy hurtful claws, nor all thy vain body. So the whole eagle got to go. Okay, and we know what the eagle represents. Okay, the whole eagle got to go. Throw the whole thing out. Verse 46. That all the earth may be refreshed and may return, being delivered from thy violence. All right, and you go into the book of Obadiah, it talks about the violence because of thy violence, Esau, because of your violence. That's why shame shall cover you. So it says that the earth shall be so that all the earth may be refreshed and may return, being delivered from thy violence, and that she may hope for the judgment and mercy of him that made her. You see that? So Esau is basically the hope. It's going to be a wrap for him, man. And that's what we are. We're the heralds. We're bringing this in. All right. We're the prophets. We're telling you that this is going to come. All right. Hark the heralds. Harken on to the heralds. We the heralds. You got to listen to us because what we're telling you is what's about to happen. This man is about to be taken out of power. This is a big deal. Imagine a world with no so-called white people. Imagine that shit. Imagine what that shit would be like, bro. This shit would be, the world would be perfect. You keep everything else, but take them out. This place would be paradise. Go ahead, brother.
Hey, since you said that, this is Job chapter 20. I'm going to start at verse 6, read through 9. All right, it says, though his excellency mount up to heaven, and his head reach into the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. And they would see him, so say, where is he? And he shall fly away as a dream, and shall not be found. Yet he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. The eye also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place any more behold him.
It's gonna be what do you call it, paradise. Like the brother put. It's gonna be paradise. Okay? Because if this man is gone, then we good. Righteousness can finally reign supreme. The Israelites can actually take the throne. There ain't nobody else fit to take the throne. Who's gonna take the throne other than Edomites? It's gonna be the Israelites, man. You know, this place is gonna be perfection. It's gonna be beauty, and that's what they call the nation of Israel. Going into the book of Lamentations, chapter 2, it says, "We the perfection of beauty." You know, basically we the shit. We the best. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, it would only make sense that the two main characters of the movie would have the power at the end. Esau about to be taken from Jacob. You know what I'm saying? And Jacob about to take it. That it only makes sense. You know,
Nobody
that's
else, man. It's got to be either Esau or Jacob.
All right now, so Yahweh has to come back and take the power.
That's right. That's right. You know. So read that last part again, Dawada.
Con, this is Job chapter 20. Man, I'm gonna read verse 8 and 9. It says, oh man, hey, well,
keep
7
reading.
through 9. It says, yes, con. So I'll read it, verse 8. It says, he shall fly away as a dream and shall not be found, yet he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. The eye also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place any more behold him. His children shall seek to please the poor, and his hand shall restore their goods. His bones are full of sin from his youth, which shall lie down with him in the dust. You know, I mean, hey, we can keep reading, but, you know.
Okay. Yeah, man. Esau, bro. Like, you know, when he's gone, people going to be like, you know, where he at, you know, but really it's going to be like, as a dream, you know, you forget a dream. You know, it's going to be like, this dude never really existed. It's going to be, you know, wait till he's finally gone. It's going to be like he never really existed. We're not going to really remember it. You know, the elect will, because we're going to have memories all, you know, we lived through it without dying. But the rest of the world, you know, Lord willing, you know, the rest of the world, they're just going to know righteousness, really. You know, the rest of our nation, all the other nations, they're just, Esau's not even going to be in their mindset no more. It's, they're gone. They're finally gone. We're going to be like, wow.
Hey, kind brother. It's like but and ultimately that's what the title of the video is. Esau, your time is up. His time of wickedness, him, destroying the whole earth. No one's gonna remember that because what? The people are gonna be rejoicing when the righteous are in rule, man. You don't remember the bad times, like you don't remember bad times when you're having a great time, These are, like when you're having the best days of your life, when you're happy, you're not thinking of the worst days of your life when you're having a great time. You know what I'm saying? So imagine in the kingdom, even the heathen is going to be having a good time, rejoicing. But right now, the earth is mourning, man. That's why it's time's up for Esau, man. Now it's time for life itself to be brought to this earth, man.
Kind of going back into the book of
Go ahead.
Going back to the book of Isaiah 14. Reading on up. Isaiah 14, starting at verse 4. It says that. Well, we'll start at verse 4. That thou shalt take up a proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. The Lord hath broken the staff for the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. He that ruled the nations in anger and persecuted, and none hindereth. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet and break into singing. So they call this man. They said the king of Babylon, the oppressor. All right, the golden city. Okay, the wicked. They said the Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. That means Esau's taken out of power. All right, he broke his staff because a staff, a scepter, that's synonymous with a ruler, someone in power. They hold a scepter. They said they're gonna break the scepter. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. This Esau. You can't say no. You can't put that title on nobody else, man. Ain't no other nation that can fit the title of the wicked. Yeah, this wicked niggas, this wicked people. All these other nations. Yeah, they wicked too. But the wicked. That's talking about the so-called white man. That's easily. I'll bet everything on it. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. He that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted, and none hindereth. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. So when this man is taken out of power, the whole earth is going to be at rest. They're going to just take a big sigh of relief. Fucking peace. And then they say break into singing. Everybody going to be singing. It's going to be a beautiful time to be alive. Verse 8. Yea, the fir tree rejoice. Hey, go ahead.
Hey, I was gonna say we were talking about verse 6, where it says, "He who smote the people with a continual stroke." That's Esau to the bear, man. What nation has been at war since its existence, man? Constantly bombing other nations around the earth, man. Ruling the people with a continual. It says, "He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, who ruled the nations in anger and persecuted." How's he ruling Iraq right now? How's he ruling Afghanistan right now? How's he trying to rule Venezuela right now? It's not through real trade, democracy, or anything like that. Oh, all right, I'll make a deal with you or whatever. No, his deals are all wicked, man. He put a $15 million bounty on Nicolas Maduro's head, man, to go take that country, man. That's a continual stroke, man. They've been waging war on Venezuela for the last couple of years, man. They've been in Iraq for like the last 20 years, man. You know what I'm saying? He's been bombing them people to hell and back, man. There was an article a couple years back where Trump was dropping a bomb every 12 minutes, man.
Yeah,
that's not a continual stroke. Yeah, that's not a continual stroke, then what is, man? What other nation is oppressing the whole planet like that, man? All right, that's Esau to the T, man. All right? Go ahead, brother.
Kind of skipping down a little bit. Because, it says, the fir trees rejoice and the cedars of Lebanon, it says, cedars of Lebanon saying, since thou art laid down, no fella has come up against us. Everything's going to be a happy place. It's going to be a happy place. And then skipping down to the verse 11, thy pomp is brought down to the grave.
Hey, can you read verse 9?
Oh, Salakia, I will. It says, hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirs up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It hath raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations.
So, hey, just like we was going into verse 6, he who smote the people with a continual wrath, right? So it says, and we could also read about this in Habakkuk chapter 2, about neither keepeth at home, right? Now here in verse 9, it says, it stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It has raised up all of their, raised up all the thrones and all the kings of the nations. And this is what Esau specializes in. It's called regime change, man. Look at what he's doing currently in Venezuela, man. He's trying to set up Juan Guaido over top of Nicolas Maduro. You see what I'm saying? They go into these different nations and overthrow their governments, man. This is what they do. They take the actual rulers off of their thrones and put up their puppet governments, man. And this is how Esau rules the world, man. All right? This is Esau special. You don't see the Chinese people doing this, man. All right? The Arabs got something like this. The Chinese kind of do too, but the Arabs got something like this. They just go over there and repopulate in the nation. They'll move to America and just keep having kids with each other until the population get bigger and bigger. But they don't go and overthrow a government and set up a puppet like how Esau's doing, man. Esau's the one that's doing this to a T, man. All right? Go ahead, brother.
Verse 10. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become as weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? And you go into the book of Joel rather. I forget how it says it right now. I gotta
Let the weak
find
say
it.
I'm strong.
Yeah, the weak say I'm strong. You know, but
go ahead. Yeah, I got you. Nah, I'm getting it. Go ahead.
So it says, I'll read it again while you get that. Verse 10, Isaiah 14:10. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Okay, all these different nations. Okay, everybody's looking at Esau and all the so-called white man and all these Western nations. Like, hold on, wait a minute. Yeah, y'all could be touched. You know, y'all not as mighty as we remember you being in the 60s and the 50s and such and such. Y'all not so scary no more. We got what you got. We got the same thing you got. You look at your economy. Look at y'all looking like a third world country right now. Y'all become as weak as us. Go ahead, Dawg. You got it. Whoever got it.
Joel 3, verse 9 and 10. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares and the swords and your pruning hooks and the spears. Let the weak say I am strong.
Yeah, man, because these other nations now they licking their chops, looking at these Western nations. Like, you know what? Bust a move. I'm ready for you to bust a move. Do something. Do something. Please do something. Please do something. They waiting for America to do something, so they have a reason to bust off on them, to dump on this place. So what you would perceive to be a weak nation ain't so weak no more. They got all types of artillery and they pointing it over at these Western nations. This is the time we're living in now. This isn't the 50s or the 60s no more, where America was clearly the superpower. It's not so no more. Okay, and all these other nations, all these brown nations you see out there, they realize that, and they looking at these Western nations like, when it comes to it, we're gonna pull that, we're gonna press that red button. It says back in the book of Isaiah 14, verse 11, thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows. The worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. Basically showing that this place is dead. Okay, it's brought down to the grave, into a low place, a low estate. Now look at America, 2020. Look at America. Unemployment is damn near a million people unemployed here now.
Really?
Nah, it's more than that. It's like 10 million. It's like 10 million.
100,000. So you know what I'm saying. You know what I mean.
It's like 10 million now.
Yeah, it's over a million. We'll say that. It's over a million cats don't got no work now. That's crazy. I mean,
and it's only gonna get worse, man. It's only gonna get worse. Because it ain't fin. You people are in for a real hurting. Just put it like that.
Telling
People
you,
are fucked.
yeah, those jobs ain't coming back, man.
Yeah. Hey,
You know,
Trump ain't making America great again. I hate
well,
him.
ruined it.
Hey, guess what?
Ruined
He
it
about
for
to be
y'all.
president again, though. That's
You want to
funny.
try to get a job at McDonald's? All those jobs are gonna be taken by robots. You ain't getting no jobs no more, dog. That shit is done, son. America is done, son. You know, the pomp is
Okay.
brought down to the grave.
Okay.
And just I'll read one more. It says, "How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations?" All right, Lucifer being the light bearer, which was Esau in this world. Okay, he was clearly the light bearer. He had all the knowledge and wisdom of this world. But guess what? He's brought down to the grave, and
Yeah.
everybody's looking at him like, "What?" Just like the brother read earlier. Now really look upon him, saying, "Is this the man?" Okay, he's done. Go ahead, brothers. You got it.
Well, yeah.
Done. I got something real quick.
Bring it out.
Alright. This is the book of Daniel 12:1. And it reads, it says, "And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people." You know, and that's talking about the archangel Michael, man. Alright? Because he coming back with the chariots of the Lord, the innumerable amount of chariots, man. All right, and Michael the archangel is gonna be leading, man. Okay, underneath Yahushai. So when you go to Revelations 12:7, that same thing is transpiring there. Revelation 12:7 says there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought against his angels, man. All right. So what? This current system is finna get ready to go to war, man. With Yahushai, man. Michael and his archangels, the dragon, which is this system, this beast, okay? But all the other nations also joined unto America, due to their philosophy, man. So Esau is the main character, all right? He's the main enemy, but all the other people, because they're a part of this system, they gonna fight against the Lord too, the other nations, man. Okay.
Yeah.
So what's up, brother?
Hey, now I was gonna say real quick. What's
Yeah,
that?
go ahead.
Second Ezra 13 says one realm against another. Yeah.
Yep.
Got it. That's it, brother.
Yeah, go ahead. Can I?
All right. Read that again. Revelation 12:7. There was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels. All right. So I'm gonna go back to Daniel 12:1. So when it says, "At that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people." All right. That's fast forward. Hey, we're in those times right now, man. All right. Where this beast, all right, this dragon finna get ready to really come, all right, at us again, man. You know, all out war, man. Everything exposed, coming full fledged, man. No stopping. Only thing that's gonna stop him is Yahushai. All right. That's the only thing that's gonna stop him. That's why we sat here, we do these lessons. Here it is. We reaching towards the end, and hey, brothers, drawing nigh unto the Lord, man, like really crying out to the Lord, really hoping for that salvation, man. All right, because we know that's the only way that we're gonna get up out of here, man. It's through Him, all right? Because we was bought here by Him, so the only way we can get out is through Him. Okay, so it's gonna have to be some divine intervention that takes place to really save the elect men, right? Finish off on this. It says, "And there shall be a time of trouble," back in Daniel 12:1, "such as never was since there was a nation, even to the same time." All right. So these things is taking place. That's how we know that this is the end, because the things that are taking place is never took place. All right. America has never been in the situation that it's in now. All right. The scripture said a time like no other. So we're seeing a time like no other right now, according to the prophecy, man. All right. So that's how we know we at the end. That's how we know these scriptures is getting ready to take place, all through prophecy, man. That's why Yahushai, all right, back in Revelation 19, I believe, the spirit of Yahushai is the spirit of prophecy, man. That's what elders always push: prophecy, prophecy, prophecy. The scriptures say rather that he may prophesy, man. All right. Because based on the prophecies, we know we're able to measure the time diligently. That's how we know we at the end, man. All right? Because things will take place that never took place before. So I'm going to finish off on this. It says, and at that time, thy people shall be delivered. All right, so in the script, you know, it's a certain amount of us that already, we made it, man. The elect that was ordained to be saved has made it, man. All right, and it's a very, very good chance that we may be those men. Because here it is in the last days, when the lights got cut off, right? Who was the only people still working, man? Us. The rest of the world, man, they were what were they doing, man? They were enjoying their lives, man. They wasn't in this truth. It was in this truth when the lights cut off, man. All right? And the curtain is pulled. We were doing what we were supposed to do. You know, before these things transpired, man. All right, so we finished off and said, everyone that shall be found written in the book of life, man, that's what we desire, you know, to dwell in, man. You know, we you know, that's why we fight so hard. You know, that we for salvation, so we can be saved. You know, right now we getting ready to see, truly see how special we are, man. All right, Elder Gabar from the Elder Apostle on down to the Spirit Power Yahweh Shemi Shai. All right. You know, it's told us, man, we gonna really see how blessed we are. Now is that time to see how blessed we are with this truth, man. Okay. But that's all I would say.
I got something to close out with this. Isaiah 47:1, I'll just read the first verse. Isaiah 47:1, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. But thou shalt be no more called tender and delicate. So, one of the lesson, you know, this end. You know, Esau, you know, he had his time to rulership, he had his time to do his thing, go on, deceive, and have the face of the earth, and rule by the sword. But, you know, now is the end of that contract, you know, which is ultimately that curse that, you know, he didn't read between the lines, you know.
That's true. Well, when he got exposed, when truth came out about him, because what, he given power to deceive the nation. So what that means, the Most High took that power from him. Mm-hmm. So he on the decline, man. He's on a straight decline. Because now the mass of the people don't believe him. Don't believe what he said. Most of all, Israel, that's what we're talking about. That's really what it's about, Israel waking up. You know, where the other nations know anything or whatever. But the elect, man, has woken up. You know? The elect has woken up. And that's it. You know, the power to deceive the nations is done. It's through. Okay?
Right. Yep. It kind of like the scripture says, by unrighteous gains, you know, riches gotten by deceit. Kingdom is transferred from one people to another, you know, after paraphrasing. So, you know, Lord Yahweh Shema Shai allowed Esau to do all this, you know, just so we can ultimately receive a greater kingdom, far greater than anything we've ever even imagined, you know. So, you know, bring it all the way around. Esau, your time is up. It's time for Yahweh Shema Shai to establish his kingdom on this earth, and for Israel really to live, you know. So Esau, you're finished. Hey, we want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh,
Yahweh, Bashim, Yahushua, Bashim, Rakak Badash.
Hey, Mawatha Babal, Esau, you're finished. Shalom.
Shalom.